We were pretty blind to our numbers. Financially, we were illiterate. I think early on it was probably a good thing. I think if we knew our numbers, we would have shut the doors much earlier.
Welcome to How to Build a Profitable Nutrition Business. If you love nutrition and you love helping people and you want to be in the game long enough to keep doing that, then this is the podcast for you. Let's get into it.
Welcome to our very first episode of How to Build a Profitable Nutrition Business. I'm here with my business partner and wife, Stacey Hughes, and we're here to talk about, well, firstly, why we're qualified to even talk about the subject, and then our key learnings, a brief overview of our key learnings from our time of having a nutrition business where we went from negative dollars essentially to about 1.4 million in a very short period of time. So what I'll be doing with this podcast, I'll go into depth about all the things that we did right to get there, and then there'll be another episode on all our key learnings, on things that we could have done differently. I'll be bringing on guest experts with key knowledge areas to help you grow your business, and then I'll also be interviewing expert nutritionists who have grown profitable nutrition businesses. All right, Stace. So quick history of our background and why we're qualified to talk about it.
Yeah, well, we started our business in 2015. We just had our third child, and we had 3 boys under 3, and we moved to Yeppoon, central Queensland. We'd come from Western Queensland, and Chris needed a bigger centre to start a nutrition business. So we moved to Yeppoon and opened doors.
Yes, so it was my idea to move, so there was a bit of pressure on me to make it work. And so those first 2 or 3 years was basically just head down, bum up, seeing as many people as I could, not providing a good service really, but it was just a numbers game for me. I had kids to feed. And we set up in different locations, didn't we? So
yeah, there's a lot of travel for you.
A lot of travel. I remember travelling to Emerald 4 hours each way and then seeing clients for 8 to 10 hours. I'd only ever do it on a Friday because I'd be exhausted then. Wouldn't work Saturday, but massive. But in the end, though, setting up in different locations, the initial plan was to fill the calendar. I had to be full every day to make it worthwhile. In the end, that actually helped us grow, though. I know you were against it, but because you had 3 kids at home.
Yeah.
But it enabled us to sort of have a footprint in these locations before we then put staff there. Anyway, we grew.
So and then we hired staff, and then
I was shitting myself about that, but ended up being fantastic.
Yeah, and that's the only way we could really grow our business. So we used government grants to do that, to hire the dietitians and to hire the admin staff at each location. So that really helped us grow. And then we sold the business at the end of 2021.
And went travelling in our caravan, which was a lifelong dream.
Yes.
The sale of the business was a bit of a disaster in itself, but that's probably another episode. We sold it too quick and in a rush, but in the end we just wanted out. Okay, so just looking at the 3 things, and like I said, we'll go into depth about this in another episode, but what are the 3 things that we did well that enabled us to go from negative dollars to 1.4 million over essentially 4 years? We grew in that space.
Yeah, one was productizing our service. So you wrote a book, moving into the online space, creating health challenges that people could sign up to. So really just offering more than just the traditional one-on-one consults.
Yeah, we had in-body machines, indirect calorimeters where we'd measure people's metabolism, all things that would help clinically, but they were that. The big thing was actually getting a coach, because one of our coaches gave us that advice, didn't they?
That's right.
Pete Clark, and he said, you've got to provide something that they can't get at home.
That's right.
Anyone can get information on the internet these days, but what are you providing that they can't get at home?
Yeah, so hiring coaches was another one, because you saw that webinar that Pete Clark was running one night. It was like late at night, I remember, and you couldn't believe the numbers that he was throwing around in what his practice was doing, and you were like, wow, I need to learn from this guy. So you made contact with Peter, and we did some coaching with Peter, and that was one of the things, was bringing in more things of value, which were the in-bodies and those other things.
Yeah, he was pivotal for our business, Pete. I was just seeing as many people as I could without really any sense of knowing the numbers. And coaches in general was probably something I never considered, but you coming from a business background had really thought to invest in coaches and joining Business Blueprint.
Joined Business Blueprint as well. That's something that really helped us both personally and professionally to grow our mindsets. Really.
Tina Tower now with the online courses that we do and everything has been amazing.
So we've always invested in coaches or mentors.
Yes, it's expensive, and it's a hard one for me, being the more accumulator in the relationship who's worried about what's going out, whereas Stacey's really happy to invest and then get a return on that investment, which is what we've really done with coaches. So
so there was productizing our service, investing in coaches. So what was our third one, Chris?
I think it was really understanding the importance of value for the client. So we needed to make sure that the clients felt value walking away from our appointment. And we saw a lot of bulk bill clients that would be referred to us. For anyone that doesn't know what bulk billing is, it's basically the client doesn't pay. It's a government funded program and we get paid from the government. Not a lot of money. It's a little bit controversial. A lot of health professionals can't do it anymore. But for us, even those guys, we wanted them to make sure they felt value. They've paid us with their time and we wanted them to feel value. Then they would come on as private, and that's where it was profitable for us as a nutrition business. Coaches, productizing, understanding the importance of value. Mm-hmm. What about learnings?
Yeah, so one was probably we didn't nurture our list well enough. Like we were collecting emails from our website and also through the clinic, but we didn't nurture them. Like we should have been sending them emails about what to expect before their appointments and then what was going to happen after their appointments, like what other services that we had. So that's something we could have done better, that we weren't doing that as most effective as we could have been, given the list size we ended up having.
And we had some great tools to build a list, so we actually had quite a large list. We didn't nurture that enough.
Yes.
Okay, what else?
Our culture, our employee culture, we could have done that a bit better. Initially, we were really great at this, but I think we sort of knew we were going to sell the business, so we sort of changed our tact with that, and probably didn't invest enough in training and regular contact. We always had regular meetings, but we used to do regular training sessions and fun things for the staff, where we sort of didn't invest in that towards the end, and we grew quite big quite quickly. So
I remember we were at a conference and they said 0 to 12 employees is the perfect number. As soon as you go above 12 to 50, it's painful. And we were at 12, but had a job ad out.
And we went to 17 quite quickly then, from 12 to 17, 18. So we probably needed a HR manager at that point. It was too big a role for me, so as well as doing everything else. So that was at the point we needed another level of management.
We were a bit burnt out too, I think. So we had great culture, and then we got burnt out with a few things, and in the end we were just wanting to get out, weren't we? Essentially, and we let our culture slip, and that was a big problem. And the third would be our numbers. We were pretty blind to our numbers. We were good with our client numbers. I taught myself Power BI, and that was a great thing. But financially, we were illiterate. I think early on it was probably a good thing. I think if we knew our numbers, we would have shut the doors much earlier. But certainly later on, we could have tracked our expenses a lot better.
And we made decisions not knowing our numbers. So we made our decisions, not based on the right measurements.
That's right. So to summarise, we good things were getting coaches, productising our service, and understanding the importance of value. Key learnings were nurturing our list, letting our culture slip, and being financially blind. So they're the three. We do have more, and we'll go into depth in other episodes. But as a brief intro, these are the key things that we learnt and would do again. So that is the very first episode. So hopefully you got something out of that. The next episode will be a deeper dive into all the good things that we did that allowed us to grow to 1.4 million in a fairly short period of time. All right.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming on, Stace.
Thank you.
Did you find this podcast valuable? There may be other nutrition professionals out there will also. If you like, share, and subscribe, it's going to help other nutrition professionals make an impact on the world just like you. Thanks.